Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a hilarious show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So Shannon Sharpe is back to losing his mind over the Lakers. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. And as I told you guys, I'm not subbed to Shannon's channels no more, so I don't be knowing when they'll be dropping videos. But today, a video popped up on my timeline from his channel Nightcap, and it had the following headline saying, Unc and ISO Joe react to the Lakers looking hopeless on defense against the Spurs in 132-119 loss. Now, funny enough, I watched that game yesterday. And I commented 2 times during the game. I think the first time I commented was, it was surely in the first half, and I wrote, "How is this happening? Lakers, get it together." And by the end of the game, I wrote, "This team is ruined," with the shaking my head emoji. What happened last night for that team? As I said, the Lakers lost to the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama. Somehow, some way, they found a way to pull that off, right? And if you're watching the game, it became apparently obvious that the Lakers just were not very good defensively. They simply were. They were not, right? They couldn't guard anybody. And it's one of the reasons I said that I'm highly doubtful of the trio of Luka, LeBron, and Reeves working. I said that. I also said that I liked this team prior to LeBron's return. You remember I said that. The reason I said that was because they had Marcus Smart inserted in the lineup, and he gave that team a defensive bite or at the attack point, right? Which is something they didn't have. And this has been my greatest fear. Now, as we're currently speaking, the Lakers are the number 4 seed in the West. They went from the 2, and a lot of that has to do with the fact they were not playing very good teams. Now they're at the number 4, and they do have a break because I think they're going to be playing the Utah Jazz next. So the Lakers have a very light schedule to start off this particular campaign year, right? But it was a disaster, a total disaster. And I'm going to get a little bit more into the breakdown of the game. But I actually want to get into what Shannon had to say, because he's echoing some of the sentiments here that I just said. And you can see that Shannon looked pretty defeated after the game. We can't show you. I mean, the dude didn't even shave before the game. Like, I've never seen Shannon Sharpe with a gray beard coming in. Like, that's how, like, the dude just looked dejected. But before we even get into what Shannon had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds, and I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Excellent. So we want you guys to take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say here during their post-game analysis of the game, and I want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Shannon and these guys here.
Joe, Spurs got 39 in the first quarter. Yeah. Got 31 in the second quarter. So that's 70 points at the half. Then they go get 34 in the third. That's 104 points. You're going to have a very tough time. You let teams score that many points, you're going to have a hard-ass time. Unless you're shooting at an elite level, you let a team score like that, you got your work cut out for them. You got your work cut out for you. Yeah, and then they got 28. Then they got 28 in the fourth quarter when they kind of took their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
The issue for the Lakers, and I still believe this, Joe, and I think you agree, is going to be defend. Can they defend? Can they defend? Because they're going to score. Luka's going to give you. I mean, he got an easy. Look. He's going to go off every first quarter because he's going to get up about 15 shots. So there's going to be a great chance he's going to have somewhere between 20 and 20, maybe even 30 points in the first quarter. Yeah. So he's going to get off to a great start. The question is, can they defend? Because what happens when your shots? See, what happened was they got off to a great start. And when it wasn't defending, it was fine because the Spurs missed a couple of shots and the Lakers, right back at them. But what happens when those shots stop falling? Joe and Ocho, and then all of a sudden the other team couldn't miss. You can't get no stops to quell that rush. Ocho, looking at this game, man. I mean, look, Stephon Castle. You see why he run Rookie of the Year?
Yes, sir.
Fox, De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, that's that boy now.
There's always going to be a problem if you go back and study the Lakers, Joe and Ocho. If you look at the Lakers, say the past since LeBron been there, the thing that's always giving them problem: elite courts. Quick backcourts.
Yeah. Guys who can score.
That's always go back and look at since LeBron has been there. Teams that De'Aaron Fox is always giving them fits. Shea is always going to give them fits. Somebody that has an elite Tyrese Maxey, guys that Ja Morant, anybody that has an elite backcourt is going to cause them problems because they can't defend that. They can't defend on ball. So you come with the help, they swing it. You rotate one more time, now guys wide open. See, they don't have guys that they can't rotate multiple times. And the thing what makes OKC so great, they can rotate once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a lady.
Yeah.
And they always gonna have 3 elite level on ball defenders. They're gonna be on the court at all times.
Fantastic. So you heard what they had to say. All right, so let's get a little bit further into the details here. Okay. Going back to the box score. LeBron had 19 points, 3 turnovers, 3 blocks, 8 assists, 15 rebounds on 50% shooting from the field. 83% shooting from the three-point free throw line, 0 from 3. Rui had 8 points. Ayton had 11 and 8. The person that really stood out was Austin Reeves. He had 15 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, but he only shot 37% from the floor, 33% from 3. Luka, on the other hand, had 35 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds on 46% shooting from the floor, 37% from the three-point line. And, of course, you had Marcus Smart come off the bench with 26 points, and he hit 8 three-pointers. A few things that are standing out to me. What I'm beginning to notice is a slip in Austin Reeves' production ever since LeBron has returned. Since LeBron has returned, he's now averaging 24.5 points per game on 44% shooting from the floor, 39% shooting from 3. His numbers weren't as great as they were before because now the shots have to go around. You now have another guy that's coming back to the team that's now going to be attempting around 14 or 15 shots. Granted, Reeves attempted more shots than LeBron, 2 more. He had 16 field goal attempts to LeBron's 14. But Reeves just looks out of whack. That's one of the first takeaways. The second takeaway is this: the Lakers are a disaster of a defensive team. They're in the bottom 10 when it comes to defensive rate. If you look at their rating right now defensively, they're ranked number 21. Offensively, they're ranked 7th, but that's not going to get it done, right? You got to be at least a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense to think you're doing anything. Let's look at opponents scoring per game. They're 19th. They're giving up 117 points a game to opponents, and they're scoring 118. So a couple bounces here, a couple bounces there, they're losing these games. The defense is atrocious. Luka Doncic is an atrocious defender, but that we already knew, right? The Lakers signed up for this guy, so Luka being bad on defense is not a new revelation. We always knew this. Luka's always been bad. But somehow, some way, Luka, with his bad defense, still found a way to help the Mavs get to the finals. Which means that what? The Mavericks put the necessary pieces around him to help him on that other side so he could still be effective with his scoring and his playmaking and his rebounding. That we don't have with the Lakers. Because Luka's a poor defender, Reeves is a poor defender, and LeBron is a poor defender. Both Luka and LeBron are known for not getting back on defense. As a matter of fact, if you were watching that game, the place where the Spurs really hurt them was on transition defense, where the Lakers just seem absolutely, totally disinterested. They're not going to play. They can't play defense. And guess what? They're not going to play defense anytime soon. They're not going to play defense anytime soon. It's just they are simply not going to do that. And now Reeves looks like a worse player now that LeBron is returned. Now, some of it is his fault. He's missing shots, but this is what I'm seeing here. Right? And maybe he will have a bounce back game and all of that, but it's not looking good for Austin Reeves right now. Another thing that stood out to me, somehow, some way, LeBron still, in terms of starters, led the team in negative plus minus with a negative 16. So even with his 19 points, even with his 15 rebounds, even with his 50% shooting from the field, 80% shooting from the free throw line, somehow, some way, the team was losing by 16 points when he was on the floor. And Reeves, they were losing by 5. And Luka 2. So I think that number is pointing to the defense, right? Overall, they're not a good team, but you can't hide these numbers. Now, they're going to be able to get away with it because they're facing some pretty easy teams. But what I have noticed is that whenever the Lakers play a serious or halfway decent team, these things are going to happen. They're going to happen. So one of the best things that can happen for the Lakers right now is that LeBron's contract is expiring at the end of this year. So you're getting one bad defender off the team at the very least, and then they can work their way up from that. That's my only thought process at this point. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. I'm out. Peace.